I'm trying to figure out these different setups. Just where lighting is good. Oh, I wrote something last night that I liked. I'll read it to you. Maybe it's better to read it. Let me print it and read it. Okay, another test. Here we go. I shaved. Whoa, this is more than I thought. I have my phone tucked into my pants band. I need to buy more white strips. I was like all about, for a while there, for a few months there, I was all about, not whitening my teeth. Because I was like, I just did push-ups, so I'm out of breath. I was all about not whitening my teeth. Because I was like, fuck it. That's not real. And then I was like bored in quarantine. And I saw that I had some white strips. Good ones, like the highest level of Crest ones. And I did them like for 3 days because they're the ones that you would do for an hour. And you know what? My little teethies looked so cute that I was like, well, I'm into this again. I've been doing it since I was like 16. Whitening my teeth. How white are they now? I don't know. Not that white. Very white? You be the judge. Okay, I wrote this last night. Okay. Phone started ringing. I cut off the voice memo. Third time's the charm. This plant is sitting on the couch artificially so that it will create some green in the frame. I love you guys. The reason I always think of my travels when I'm alone and close to falling asleep is that these are my soul journeys. When I go and travel alone, I'm seeing the earth. I'm doing what I came here to do. I'm living my mythology. I'm the hero that I am, out alone and free, seeking and finding and knowing that it is true, that it is. Too much words there. They're spiritual experiences or times when I'm the deepest part of myself, living my psyche manifest, traveling the world, meeting people I've never met before, having experiences that only I will ever see through my own eyes, never to be recreated except when the exact things happen again in the infinity of things, infinitely, again and again. But really, these experiences are mine. It is my soul. Why can't I find the words? The place beyond words, the self beyond words, looking out, breathing in wonder. Tonight in my heart and soul, I'm in Hong Kong, remembering Scotty. Remembering going out to dinner with those guys at that restaurant up in a tall building at night, being so skinny and too much personality, maybe. Though Scotty never thought so. Scotty loved me and is a good artist. God, these people I meet, how can I be so lucky, given this infinite joy, this life? And Lantau, the big Buddha. I'm remembering so clearly arriving back on some city side after my morning day on Lantau, seeing the big Buddha. I went back to Lantau a different day just to see the beach. The Buddha day was just me following my feet. My first real morning in Hong Kong. But I'm remembering arriving from that long gondola ride in some kind of big public transport station and coming down to the street level and taking a taxi back to the hotel, I think. It was expensive. I wore my long green jacket from H&M and fake glasses and took selfies in the gondola with the glass bottom, crystal cabin, and posted one with the caption Christmas Day, which it was. I also remember the night before, I think, arriving in Hong Kong to the hotel after I took the air train or whatever it's called into the city. Then a taxi to the Harbor Grand Hotel, and there was a gigantic chandelier hanging from the ceiling, and no joke, a chorus of children, quite large, singing Christmas songs. I remember asking if the room the check-in guy was giving me had a nice view. And he kind of considered and said something, and then changed it to one that indeed had a spectacular view, which is where I saw the city from up high for the first time. Scotty later taught me, after I met him the next day, could it all have happened so fast, about the dark side of Hong Kong. His words, not mine. What they call the part where the locals live. The water you have to cross to get from Hong Kong side to Kowloon side is so blue-green. It appeared in a lot of good pictures after I had my panic attack on far too much caffeine and probably too few calories. In the hotel room, while looking at tweets from people that were back in the States where it was still Christmas Eve night and not a weird sunny 11 a.m. or so on a Christmas day. Alone in a high hotel room with only the light coming in through the window after having watched the Whitney Houston documentary on the flight over where she died alone in a hotel room. I started freaking out as my heart was racing out of control, even scared to write it now for fear that it will happen again. And I grabbed some cookies from the mini fridge area in the hotel room as I put on whatever necessary clothes to get out of the room and down to the lobby, knowing it would be much better if I was around people if I collapsed or had a heart attack, which I suddenly feared. Scotty came to rescue me, came to hang out kindly an hour earlier than planned. That's right, it must have been around 11 because we were supposed to hang out at noon and I asked him to come early. He was wearing a black leather jacket in the lobby. Maybe this was after Steph and Joe had both talked me down a bit, kindly. Joe saying, "You won't just be okay again. You'll be great," which of course was right. Worth noting, I booked Will and Grace a month after this, far and away my biggest job up to that point. Scotty hugged me deeply after or while we said hello. And if I'm not mistaken, we were holding hands immediately, or at least arm in arm. I explained pretty quickly that I had had a panic attack, the first in my life at that point, and he was so sympathetic and all-embracing immediately. A kind force unrivaled. He took me out to eat dim sum. I think that was our first activity, and we had a great week after that, the best of friends and almost lovers. I saw his apartment on Kowloon side, where I believe he lived with his father and sister, a small place that I loved, feeling that it was real Hong Kong, whatever that means.